Okay. Um, First and foremost, I just want to start off by saying thank you, God. Um, I, I think this is something that needs to be said as much as I can while I can before either can't speak or unable to speak or I'm too much in pain to even be thanking God. So I gotta say it today because regardless of whatever's happening to me, I just seen what life could have been if maybe I ended up doing what this trash do. And the truth is, it doesn't take much. It seems like they don't, anybody really can partake. And so it's not something where just special people just it seems all kind of people and a lot of opportunists and it's nasty to see this low life trying to counter reality by any means. Right, this trash that I do really encourage them to continuously call themselves gods. Sometimes they say that to try to agitate me, and like, oh, we're God. We're like, yes, please continue to call yourself God. I will not make you. I will not advise you to not call yourself gods, because we know what happens. Um, but for me, it's just like I have to be strong. But sometimes some of the things I deal with is comical. So sometimes I'm like, how can I even make a video and talk about what just happened and how they want me to think? No, the truth is, our brain is no longer ours. We are just being manipulated, and the reaction, the thought process is just so rewired. Some of it is disturbing, but some of it is a level of disturbance and comicalness. I don't know how else to describe this. And then you have clowns of all sorts who try to make you accept these ways of thinking, try to be like, no, but this is how you think when you're it's like, stop it. You are forcing me to think this way. You're forcing me to experience these reactions, this sensation, this stimulation, this emotion. Is all what this technology is capable of doing. It's just crazy that I can literally pull up a video of this man saying this EEG technology that can do these things, make you experience these emotions, but not only that, and then to hear these perps, because what they do, right? This we are test subject. Let me start off by saying I understand that what is happening to me is the result of me being a test subject in this program where they're utilizing this technology that can do so much to us, right? And they contract this trash, these losers, these bottom feeders that I'm so thankful that never they wasn't putting this. I was not involved myself in these things, where their job is to try to gaslight you once you are forced to experience a reaction, right? They clowns. I mean, I don't understand the strength. How are they able to just dumb themselves at this point with me? It's just I made it clear. I had to see what you just did, but it's so childish. Let's just for example say that I make you have this experience, you get this reaction that you will not experience unless this technology can manipulate you to have this experience, and then I come out like, yeah, we do. You pay, you were. It's ugh. I couldn't respect myself, but this is what they do 24/7, and it's clear. It's like, do you respect yourself? Does it not sound like a child? Like once you understand what the goal is, it's like, okay, I'm gonna make this person experience this, then I'm gonna make it sound like I'm gonna pretend like, oh my gosh, I just called you, so you. It's of course you're making me experience this nastiness. You think all of a sudden because you talk this way, I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what? This is just something I just organically. It's an organic reaction. Clowns. It's like you don't. Do you even respect yourself at this point? You know I'm gonna do this thing. Then you're gonna try to walk with man, girl. I know this technology. Literally describing here. They've been doing these things to people for years. People have been well speaking about it, testifying about the fact that they are being manipulated to have these reactions, these emotions, these stimulations, these sensations. But this trust like, no, we are so clown. You know, they've made me feel so uncomfortable with my body because the way they make me react is so disgusting. For example, I'm in bed and sometimes I'm not wearing a t-shirt. And I'm gonna say this thing. This is how they just play with your thought process. And let me show you. the disgusting reaction. So I scroll down YouTube. I'm trying to find the energy to get up and do. It is mentally draining to deal with this manipulation. It's like they are continuously breaking you down, psychologically and physically. So the energy, is low. It's draining. It is draining. So I'm just trying to push myself to wake up. Come on, drive you like just if, but it takes me a minute. And so I'm on YouTube. I'm scrolling down on YouTube, and I'm not, I'm even scared to look at it directly. I think it feels of disgusting. Where is this? Oh. Oh, okay. So I see this adorable thing here. This baby with a dog. Immediately gave a weird warm feeling, which is they tried to create some kind of sexual reaction. By fact, as I was scrolling down, I saw some more pictures which disturbed me of this baby. Let me show you of this nastiness, just reactions. I can't even look, and I'm not wearing a T-shirt. Let me just say how crazy they have rewired my thought process, because they are trying to create a reaction that's sexual and try to find ways to make me think of sexual feelings. And I just want I give this as the reason why I explained what's happening to me. Not even explain, I try to describe what's happening to me, just to understand the way my brain is being rewired. They want you. For me, in my case, this pedophilia type of torture has been utilized a lot to break me down. It's disgusting, especially with little girls. You see this little toddler little girls. I'm supposed to be experiencing this and be accepting of it, because what they're saying is like, no, what we did to your brain, we made you start thinking the way you thought when you were a kid. Nastiness is not true. And first of all, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not a child. And to try to make somebody who's not a child say, I think that's what is happening to your brain right now is we start to think, make you think the way you thought when you were a child. Basically, saying without saying that you are making this person a mentally retarded. And this perps right now, these losers, there's like, nah, it's not real. It's just stupidity. Because yes, this is the kind of retardation of logic they want you to have. If I showed you some of these people that they so call themselves at war, it's comical. That's what I'm saying. It's a mixture of horror and comedy at the same time. The clowns that they use here to gaslight you are magical. But the horrible things I experience psychologically and physically is just horrible. So I don't have a T-shirt. This pastor give me a real feeling. Oh, nasty. Matter of fact, after again when I was trying to show the other little girl there, they tried to give me. I don't have a T-shirt on me right now, and I understand how the brain is being played with to create a reaction that's sexual. They start making me think of my nipples to try to connect something sexual with what I just saw. Matter of fact, after I saw this picture, later on, I'm like, and I rub like I just like scratch myself or something like that, and I accidentally touch my nipple. They start to create something sexual. You understand the level of just stupidity my brain is being just rewired to? Like, this is not. First of all, listen, I'm not here. This is not about sexual. But this is not something. If I would never, even if I was really in a sexual state of mind, this is not. I would not be like, oh. These people are trash. And then you hear this clown say, no, we mapped this. These people are low life. I pray that they continue to live this life for as long as they can. Call themselves gods while doing these nasty things. I pray that this is the life they live for. This trash that force people to think this way and try to get you to accept this manipulation. Oh, and by the way, you are validated by things like that.
The human nervous to remotely pick up on someone's neural network or EEG and not only receive that and monitor it, but manipulate it and place it back into the victim to control their emotions or control their actions or bodily functions for that matter. The other more recent term we have for that is EEG heterodyning or EEG cloning. The difference between EEG heterodyning and EEG cloning would be, let's say, me remotely receiving your EEG and then duplicating it and putting that in another person to give them your same thoughts or feelings or physical reactions. EEG heterodyning would be receiving your EEG, manipulating it to put it back inside your head to give us a desired physical reaction or emotional reaction. Brains. And so this gets into what's called there are four different techniques. There are four different techniques and technologies that can pipe voices into an individual's head. And once you can do that, you can control them using neuro-linguistic programming techniques. You're rewiring their thought processes and brains. And so this gets into what's called offensive information warfare. And they used it, I believe, in the Gulf War to tell the enemy at that time, lay down your guns, this is Allah. And it worked pretty well because hearing voices which have no direction or sound, you have to assume that it's some spiritual entity. So it works pretty well. And then, I don't know if I'm going to get into this, but there's something called hyper game theory. How do you, they want to see if they can manipulate people to do things that are irrational, but also walk them to their death. And so you can call it a eugenics program even. And they need to sample all cultures, language throughout the world to define their probability matrices of which tricks, techniques, deception works. So how do you control a brain? Most people don't.
Malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and videos in my
Tactic of belief systems into human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
Somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophiles. Like, this disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing.
And even though that attacks continue, I don't let them get me. Today, they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use. The people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals.
As I was putting this up, you could hear Purpose trying to disorient me. Call me Rob. They came and called Roy. There's this guy called Roy Moore. They used to pick up kids as young as 14 years old. And it's funny, they can't say his name. So they are here saying Robert, like, okay. It's so pathetic. Try to disorient me because you hear there's a clear pattern here. First of all, obviously, the rewiring of the thought process is done continuously. And it's done into these offensive, disgusting ways, right? And they use they make you experience this reaction that they want you to experience toward these kids, or whatever they want. It's just they're trying to create a false pattern of some sort. So they're like, no, little girls is real. And so I'll see this kid, and they'll give me like just like this warm feeling, these sensations, to try to make me have just some kind of reaction that is something sexual, some sort. Then try to make me accept it. It's like, no, we mapped it. Matter of fact, this person says something about there's 4 different tactics of popping in the voices before they start manipulating your thought process, right? When they say 4, they're like, oh, remember what you did as a kid. I was like, remember the 4-year-old Down syndrome child that they torture sexually? But they want me to stop thinking acceptive of this manipulation. And like, now what we're doing, we're just making you think the way you did, the way you thought when you were a child. It's like, retardation, just manipulate my thought process and forcing me to have these reactions, these emotions that this man talked about in the first place. Talk about EEG, heterodyning, cloning, where these reactions can be designed for me to experience via this technology. But once they do these things that you clearly hear, these tactics of forcing people to have reaction toward children, they then act a certain way. And we mapped it. They show you, and they try to sound this like it really try to. The way their tonality changes, because they think if they start talking, and they are those bottom feeders the government contracts to implement these tactics, where I try to deceive you to identify with these things. But even me, just the manipulations are disgusting and tormenting and disturbing. But it's at this point when you have this level of validation that is just beyond validations. I mean, you literally hear here somebody say almost all target individuals are forced to see child porn in their mind. This is based on 1,000 people that were interviewed that were target individual. Almost 1,000 of them. Out of all the 1,000, almost all of these people, almost 1,000 of the people asked what they go through. Almost all of them said child porn is implanted in their brain. You understand? This is the people who can manipulate your emotions, your reaction, your thought process. They have this record of manipulating people in these disgusting ways. You heard this man say, this transgender say, they do these things. They make me think of the pedophilia. You hear this woman with children say they started doing this program of perversion where first they do that toward a child, a dog first. Her dog was the first thing they started doing that to, where she was petting her dog and started getting sensations, stimulations. Then they start aiming toward people, young people, and then actual children, and also homosexuals, to torment her. Now you have all these that I bring up every time I need to. And you have this purpose, like, no, we're going to frame you with that, we're going to frame you, we try to say all these things, and tell me I'm going to, I'd rather be, after making me experience this thing, they tell me I'm going to be castrated and all that, and thinking that is going to make me be accepting of this manipulation. So they make you have these reactions, when you say child, a little girl for me, or any children, girls or not girls or whatever, they're going to do it. The reason why they do little girls is because I do have a picture of me of this little boy that I took a long time ago. So it would be like, okay, what happened there, right? I wish I had like a picture of me holding it, but me even saying that they tried to create some stimulation, because what it does now is just like, okay, we can play with this. So this little girls, yeah, little girls is true because there's no picture. Like I cannot bring up something. Oh, look at me here. But now my memories are being manipulated. Everything is changed. Every time there's like a child, you see memory manipulation videos. I have a bunch of them. Is the way they've changed me looking at this kid, this baby. They put a perception of sexual stimulations, sensations, as always, to try to make me accept what they make me experience today. And then you hear this trash, girls, this trash involved in the program that literally torture children sexually, even kids with autism and Down syndrome. And you hear this noise campaign to try to counter that. Nasty low life. So for me, I'll never identify with this nasty manipulation, and to hear this trash talking and the way these perps try to sound like, oh gosh, I pray nothing but this low lifeness for them. I don't care if they sound childish, if they want to sound agitating, if they want to sound deep and mysticful. They're gonna get theirs one way or another. I've said that before, and I know it's gonna happen. In the meantime, for me, while I can speak, when I'm able to say things, I'm gonna say the same thing. First of all, I will never identify with this manipulation. I understand that's what you guys do. You've been manipulating my thought process, my reaction, my sensation, then manipulate my memories to try to make me accept what I'm experiencing today by erasing who my actual real memories and add this nasty sensation that you make me experience today. And I've been saying that since day one. And then you have this trash that's supposed to act this certain way, perform this way. They act girls. But when I get to see them, I'm like, look at this trash trying to make me accept these manipulations. These losers, look at them. This chip on the shoulder, like what do they have in life for that? This is what they can feel like winners about. There's nothing I can do to experience that. I'm going to be manipulated to whatever way they want me to experience. They want me to experience. These emotions and reactions, sensations, even my thought process, even my memories, all of that is for them to manipulate however they can. I can do nothing about it. So look at this trash that will now feel special. I said, no, we're gonna pass this. Yes, of course, my brain is, what can I do? I'm dealing with governmental technology that is so superior and sophisticated that there's nothing I can do as just a lonely little civilian here who can do nothing about it. So these losers, I hate that trash losers and bottom feeders who sold their soul to pedophiles, because these governmental entities that are coming up with this technology have had issues with pedophilia within these entities. The DoD has this National Defense Network abuse that was created in 2019, because in 2018 there was ranking of how much child porn every network in the United States were accessing. And the DoD network was ranked 19th out of the 2,900 network for accessing, for trafficking the most child porn. And so the next year they created a bill to try to limit the amount of child porn these people are downloading using the computers given to them by the DoD and the DoD network. So you have this trash with this disgusting manipulation. They contract these losers to try to make you accept this manipulation that you experience 24/7. That you will never be yourself. And on top of that, your real-time experience are being manipulated, but your memories are being manipulated to experience the same thing they make you experience today, so they can be like, no, we match, you see. Target individuals stay strong and see them for what they are, low life and trash and pedophiles. They'll get theirs. And then maybe not today, but everything else is time.